Hey guys, this is What You're Looking At, and today we got the review of the Galaxy mp5k brought to you by Airsoft Station. Hope you enjoy the video. Contact! Come on. Okay guys, as you heard, today's video is going to be on the Galaxy mp5k. With such a great performance out of such a little package, this gun is great for your field backup, your field primary, and especially for CQB. Considering that this gun is only $99 and you get the features like the foregrip and the folding stock, I believe this is the best PDW AEG you can buy on the airsoft market today, and for the last 5 years. Even for $99, you get a lot of things when you buy the Galaxy mp5k PDW. Starting off, you get a 20-round full metal magazine, a bag of test BBs you probably shouldn't use except a spring gun, an extra flash hider as the original one that's on the gun is glued on, and a muzzle cap, a 200-round metal high cap magazine, a dejamming rod that has detachable cleaning rod pieces and unjamming pieces. As you see, I have neither of them on the rod right now, a Chinglish instruction manual with my favorite line being "Pack to play machine," a standard wall charger you should restrain yourself from using that comes in the oh so famous exclusive charger box, your 100-round speed loader and adapter, or as Galaxy likes to call it, the play machine, an 8.4 volt 1100 milliamp stick type battery with small to me connector, and finally the olive drab sling that I will approve for 1-point sling use on the back of the folding stock on the mp5k. And now finally, the Galaxy mp5k itself. Okay guys, I'm going to start it off with the cons of the gun. Let's get all the bad things out of the way, as I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons. To start off here with our flash hider, unfortunately this one is glued on. As you saw, they do include a second one. I don't know why they would do that, some type of sick joke. I don't know what Galaxy was thinking, but this has a quick detach button on the side and multiple parts of it are glued in, so no matter how hard I try, I can't get this off. And you know, this being somewhat of a cheaper construction gun, I don't want to break the flash hider off, so I'm not going to try any harder. Maybe some of the boiling the flash hider tip or some other way will work, but I would suggest y'all to ask other Galaxy mp5k users how to take off a glued flash hider if they've encountered that before. Moving on from that, our second con, of course, is battery space. If you already own this gun or have done your research, you know that your battery space is pretty much the upper section of the gun. Without the battery in, you can use the charging handle. It really has no spring behind it, but you know, when is it not fun to do an HK slap? So when you do have your battery in the tube, this charging handle can probably move a ½ inch at the most. A good thing about that though is that when you go to take your battery out, half the time you can use your charging handle to push the battery out, or I find it easiest as the hand guard right here is all, just to use the unjamming rod to push the battery out. That way I don't damage the battery. Only two other cons I could probably mention about the gun. One is being the front sight. Yes, it's great that it is metal, but look at it. It's like a rainbowish, grayish metal. I don't know how to describe it except like when you're looking on the ground and you see those oil puddles and it has like that rainbow look to it. That's what this front sight looks like. I mean, it's practically matching that. So it looks incredibly weird on an all plastic gun. And then the only other gripe I do have with the gun is the wobble in the stock. As you can see, it is held together by these two body pins, but you do get a little bit of wobble, and it is negligible, but you probably will notice it sometimes. Okay guys, now we have all the cons out of the way. As I said, it's just 4 cons. Those will affect some people and some it won't affect them at all. Moving on to the pros though, one is that it comes with 2 magazines. First one being a 200-round high cap, full metal, and the second one being a 20-round short mag, just for the looks, or if you're using this in a movie, it's always cool to have that shorter mag in the gun. Both mags fit just fine. I find that the 20-round mag is slightly stiffer, but who's really going to use the 20-round mag? That's mainly for your looks, target shooting, and probably even competition shooting, as it is only a 20-round mag if you're trying to be realistic in any way. Extra mags for this gun is really easy to come by. Galaxy makes their own. I know they sell extras on Airsoft Station for $15. That might be a little expensive to some, but these also fit the JG/Echo 1 style high caps. So you have nothing to worry about there, and I think it's always fun to tape two high caps together. It really, completes the whole PDW loadout look for when you're going out on the field. On top of that, another pro is that this gun is lightweight but heavy for its weight. Sounds kind of weird, but with a full metal gearbox and full metal magazines and this full metal piece in the front and a full metal barrel, this gun has somewhat of a weight to it. But definitely, as I said, for its size, I would say it's heavy, but overall it is a really nice lightweight gun. You really can't complain about the balance and the weight on this, especially since you have the folding stock and that foregrip. You get a really nice ergonomic feeling when you hold this gun. I mean, it doesn't get any better. And as I said, you get that wobble you see right there in my shoulder. That is from the stock, and that's really the only complaint. Besides that, really nice gun to shoulder, really nice gun to shoot. Moving on to our selector switch, it is ambidextrous. As you see, I'm changing it on the left side and it moves on the right side, and you get a pretty decent click. I'd say it's above average for what you'd see in an mp5. I would see after a while though, this might go down. That's only normal though. Wear and tear does usually loosen up your selector switch. This is safe, that's semi, and that's full auto. And then as you see, you get the same thing on the other side. Okay guys, this is where mp5 style guns shine. As you know, in real life, mp5s are made by Heckler & Koch, Heckler & Koch, however you determine to say it. As you see, we got the one M4 style, AR style magazine release on the side. That works just fine. I prefer to use the one on the bottom, as it is an ambidextrous feature, and I find myself a lot switching my grip on the field depending on what side of a building I'm on. So overall, really nice magazine release, and both mags have a really nice click into the mag well. Okay guys, moving on to one of my favorite features of the gun is the sling point on the folding stock. Let me see if I can kind of focus in here. But as you can see, it is just one single sling point on the left side of the stock. So it tends to be better for a right-handed shooter. But even with the stock sling, I can just put both hooks onto this loop, hang it around my neck, and it's perfect height. When I pull it up, I still have some slack, so if you're a little bit bigger, as you see, this would work for relatively any shooter with the stock sling. So overall, it's a nice feature. If you're sniping or you want to have your backup gun just hanging there, you know it's going to be ready for you. So that's also a nice feature. Moving on to the folding stock itself now. As you see, very simple operation. Just put your thumb into the groove, push up on the stock, and the stock folds in. I tend to like the stock out, as I like to shoulder my weapon, and if not, I can always just put it under my shoulder. But in a situation when I'm not using it, the stock will be folded in, and if I happen to pull it out and I don't have time to pull that stock out or that extra second, you can always just put your thumb into the stock and it gives you added support along with the foregrip. But when you do take the stock out, you just grab it and you pull it out. Really nice, really simple, and really easy, just like H&K tends to make all their guns in real life. Okay guys, now I'm going to show you how to take the stock off, put the battery in, and adjust your hop up. As you see, we have two pins right here in the back. Generally, you can push both of these in. The top one tends to come out easier. The bottom one, as I said, that jamming rod comes in handy. You can just push it right through. And then after you take those off, here is the stock. And if it is worth mentioning, all the other main metal parts, including the back kit that actually attaches the folding stock to the body, is that same rainbow oil color as the front end. Okay, now you're just going to take off the front pin. This also requires you to kind of push that tab in that's, just ever so dreaded on these mp5s. So, this unjamming rod is like every man's favorite tool. Not better than duct tape though. So after you take that off, you're just going to take the handguard off. And as I mentioned in the cons, and since that flash hider won't come off really easy, you can't do the simple pulling off the foregrip just straight to the front. You got to be a little bit more careful. So flipping this gun over, as you see, we have our Tamiya connector, but more importantly, we have our hop-up adjustment right here. This little tab, all the way forward is hop-up off, all the way back is hop-up on. Okay guys, at this point now you got the battery into the gun, you got your 2mm connectors connected, and you got your wires relatively tucked in. After that, you're just going to put that front end piece or the foregrip back on the gun. And as I said before, with this flash hider glued on, it is going to be a little bit harder. The best tip I can give y'all is if you plan to use this gun on the field a lot, just keep the battery in the gun, because when you go to charge it, it's just much more easier to undo those 2mm connectors, charge it on your charger, and then put the foregrip back on instead of taking the battery out and then, you know, taking the stock back on and off. It just makes it a whole lot longer. Okay guys, that is it for the Galaxy mp5K. If you want to see the complete chrono and shooting test, I made it a video before this one, so make sure to go check that out if you're interested on how this gun shoots. But I can tell you for the conclusion of this video, it is very effective at 50, 75, 100, and 125 feet, and you're looking at roughly 700 rounds per minute, or about 11.5 rounds per second, and then about 330 to 340 FPS with .2 BBs. So overall, this gun is ready for the field, it's ready for CQB, it's ready for any situation you want to put it in. And somewhere down the line, if you do figure out how to take that flash hider off, you can throw on a barrel extension, maybe even just a 4-inch silencer, and put it an even longer inner barrel in there and make it even more accurate. Just giving y'all a little shooting test there. Trigger response is really good. And that's on full auto. And keep in mind, I've put about 500 rounds through the battery after fully charging it. So the gun performs really well, and you can't ask for any more out of a $99 gun. As I said with the cons, most of it lies problems to the battery, as far as, you know, your battery storage, getting it in, and then on top of that, that flash hider just being glued there makes everything a little bit harder. But besides that, this gun has everything you need. If you want it to be your starter gun, if you want it to be your backup gun for your sniper, and even if you're just that run and gun type player that I lean more towards, that you just want to run up to the enemy, get to cover really fast, pop up and shoot, look no further. For $99 on Airsoft Station, you're looking at an ideal gun. It comes with a great stock, it comes with that foregrip, and you'll be ready to blast away. Okay guys, that's it. This has been a What You Looking At review. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope I've gone over the whole gun. If you have any questions, make sure to private message me, and I'll make sure to answer them. Okay guys, that's it. This has been a What You Looking At production, and I'm out.